Great Castle! It's gonna... No! No! Oh, that was so close. Oh, man. Oh, that was so close. That would have been game. That would have been game had that castle been destroyed. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Game 2 in this best of 5 matchup. Sorry, best of 7 matchup between Mr. Yo and Vivi. This is for a $300 show match donated by I am Paul, I think. Can't remember exactly. But regardless, this is by a Chinese donor. Score currently is 1-0. We're again on Arabia. First 3 games will be on Arabia. There was a Civ draft, so they've both chosen Mayans. I guess in the Civ draft, you were able to pick the same civilization twice. And so far, we've seen the Aztecs, we've seen the Mayans twice, so it certainly speaks to how strong the Meso civilizations are. Mongols was a bit of a surprise pick in their first game, but we saw that that certainly worked out very well for Vivi. Introducing Vivi, he's down here in the bottom right of the screen. He is playing as the Mayans, of course. In the top left, we have Mr. Yo in red, again, playing as the Mayans. Now, the Mayans are one of those... They're a civilization that's always been strong. Since Age of Conquerors, they've been one of the strongest civilizations. I think they got a little bit buffed, even with their farms now working properly. I would like to see a little bit of a change. Do something revolving around the Mayans, because they are such a strong civilization. Now they can not only go for archers, as that's always been their specialty. Cheap archers, cheap crossbow, great unique unit in the plumed archer. Now they can also go for eagles in the Castle Age, and that makes them, you know, that much even better. And I think we'll probably be seeing a lot of eagles this game. Maybe we'll see the plumed archer. The plumed archer actually getting into, you know, mid and late game does get an attack bonus versus all infantry, including eagle warriors, making them probably the most solid unit in the late game. And with that said, let's take a little bit look at the map. Maybe that can help predict why this is, why the game might go the way it will. So we do have a back stone from Vivi. We did just mention how strong the plumed archer is, so having a back stone is certainly going to be something that is sought after. As well, it's going to be easy to wall here. This is a very difficult area to wall. It's going to take a lot of resources. Maybe you can wall through here, but the berries should be exposed. 3 zebra on the front. I am keeping an eye on Vivi's scout as it is forward relatively early. So a very open map from Vivi, and that gold is horrendous. At least it should be somewhat safe, but getting villagers over there is going to take a long time. It's going to be hard to saturate. That will certainly hurt Vivi's economy going for that gold. And as well, it looks like Mr. Yo might try to steal the sheep, should be successful at it. Meanwhile, Vivi can find the boar. This is going to be close. I think that villager's going to shoot it. Remember, it's the second hit that determines where the boar is going to go. One hit. Get it right there? Yeah, there we go. So, that as Eagle Scout's going to get it. Again, it's the second hit that determines where the boar is going to go. So this should be a win for Vivi if he gets the boar. I'd take a boar over 2 goats any day. Although that scout will lose quite a bit of HP. Mr. Yo can see where the boar is through the fog of war. And he's going to try to block it. So the best way to defend a boar steal is to try to block the boar. And if your opponent gets too close to the boar, then you hit the scout. That's a little bit of best of both worlds. Sometimes you try to do one or the other, and there you go. The block's going to be successful. So Vivi had a disadvantage this game. Lost 2 goat, lost half the HP on his Eagle Scout. At least Vivi doesn't have a boar to work with. But then again, it looks like Vivi hasn't lured his boar yet. That might be a little bit of a late boar lure. In fact, it's definitely a late boar lure. So both players should be relatively in the same position. And there we go. Boar's going to be in. Meta nowadays should be men-at-arms. And there we go. Barrack's going to come up. So let's take a look at Mr. Yo's base since we haven't done that quite yet. Can wall here. I hope he scouted that goal because that's an easy goal to miss. Can wall here. If he walls here, maybe a stone would be safe. That gold is fairly exposed, fairly forward. It's going to be hard to wall it. You're going to want to wall it like this, and we're probably not going to see that because that takes quite a bit of investment. So more likely to see this, but that will be exposed to archers later. Woodline is nice and safe. Both these maps are very open. Hopefully we will see a very aggressive game. The mines do like to wall up as much as they can, but it's going to be hard on this map. But you like Mr. Yo's better. I think I tend to agree. I just don't like this gold at all from Vivi. As you can see, he's already having a little trouble. What is that mining cap? Now, granted, there won't be a good mining cap for this gold because this gold is terrible, but that's not the best mining cap. It should be right here. And I know this is kind of like nitpicking, but like, this makes a difference. If you have a bad gold and you place a bad mining cap on it, you just feel that if you're a player in the game. If you're used to watching a lot of these games, you're like, what in the world is nobody talking about? But if you play games, you can feel it in your economy when you have a bad wood line. It's a terrible feeling. Alright, so Vivi going to go forward. Men-at-Arms certainly plays to that play style. This is what Vivi is known for. Or not. Or not. This is interesting, though. I think Mr. Yo saw the villagers coming forward. 3 are going to go back to the wood. 2 are going to go around. And Mr. Yo is going to see these 2 villagers coming forward. Don't want to waste too much time chasing the scout. And oh! I missed the militia. None of them losing HP, just a little bit. Quick gate coming up from Vivi. These militia will move around. We'll probably see some walls here. This is where the problem is at. And Vivi, you're not fast! Oh, there you go. Just barely fast enough. I was about to say. Now this is the problem, as Mr. Yo can go over here and just batter on the palisade all day long. But it looks like he's not going to go over there. Vivi coming over to the north side. Immediately Mr. Yo transitioning to stone. Men-at-Arms upgrade coming in. Mr. Yo has had a slower Castle Age, which means he should have a little more resources to work with. As long as that doesn't hurt him. And a tower coming up on the stone. This is a great tower if this can get up. There's indeed no defense here. I don't even think Mr. Yo doesn't see this tower as he'd be going up with the counter tower. This is perfect. This is going to take Mr. Yo off of stone, and we all know how important that is for a mines player, especially going to the mid to late game. Meanwhile, Mr. Yo has chosen not to get the Men-at-Arms upgrade, can certainly afford it. A lot of farms from Vivi, so probably thinking about Castle Age or Eagle Warriors, not thinking about archers. And that's a great tower. That's a devastating tower. Could even kill a villager. Gonna have to delete the mining camp to release these 2 villagers. One's gonna go down immediately. That villager's trapped. Yeah, gonna delete the mining camp. And this could be a devastating tower. This tower goes up on the gold. Now we have an archer here in the mix. There's 4 men-at-arms, 1 Eagle Scout. Counter tower's coming up, going up very slowly. There's only 2 villagers here from Vivi. Remember, Vivi was thinking about sending forward 5. If he sent forward 5, this tower would be most of the way up. And it's going to give up on that tower, but could alternatively place the tower there. Going to get another villager. 2 villagers down for Mr. Yo. Going to place a defensive tower at home. That's a smart move. Vivi's, of course, taking stone. Also, going to want to micro those villagers. They're not being very efficient. Look at Vivi's farms, though, compared to Mr. Yo. Mr. Yo has instead opted to invest the wood into an archer range and blacksmith, which should help defend from the men-at-arms and the eagles. Horse collar coming in late. Mr. Yo, you can see, his economy is just not doing as well. Going to go out to the zebra. And see if you can't pick off those men-at-arms. This could be bad timing for Mr. Yo. As those men-at-arms are going to try to kill the zebra. And the villager's going to shoot the zebra first. Archers on top of the hill. Nice play. Going to pick off the men-at-arms. Alright, so that helps to equalize things. That men-at-arms is going to kill that 1 zebra, though. And a nice trick. Let's check what's going on down here first. So Vivi going to get that tower up. Protect the stone. So a nice trick, if you're not aware of it, no matter what resource gathering building you build, the villagers will drop off whatever they you know, have collected into it. So if I was Mr. Yo, I would build a lumber camp here with these villagers, and they will, in fact, drop off the wood, drop off the food from the zebra. Now let's talk about the stone situation for these players. Vivi has safe stone. In fact, he's even mining it right now. Probably doesn't need it for towers. Oh boy, that will. But probably will go into plumed archers later on in the game. Has a few skirmishers for the time being. Now, Mr. Yo, where is his second stone? You get one. You get 2 stones basically next to your base every Arabian map. I haven't seen the second stone. The second stone is in the back left. That's great for Mr. Yo. In fact, if he wants to go plumed archers, he can. That should be relatively safe. A lot of archers for Mr. Yo. It's a 10 to 8 military count. Vivi's going into eagles. He will need the armor. Those militia will help against the eagles.
Shot it. Shot it. Shot it. Shot it.
And I'm sure you already know, but the mines archers, of course, are cheaper. Now that's the devastating tower we talked about earlier. Is Mr. Yo not going to contend against this? Why not bring some villagers here and place a tower? Ah, I guess because Mr. Yo wants to take the gold on the left. I still wouldn't let that tower go up. That could be a problem in the mid to late game. If Vivi does have an advantage, is able to keep map control with military, that tower is going to be a lot of trouble. As eventually, probably mid-Castle Age, Vivi is going to want to move over to that gold. Looks like these archers will get in. That'll be a devastating raid. Where is Vivi's army? Vivi's army is all forward, I believe, with this tower. Yes, he did a lot of damage. Well, a lot of potential damage in the Castle Age, hopefully, with that tower. But he's got no army back at home to defend. Oh, there we go. There's the skirmishers. This will be a nice pickup from Vivi. Vivi already ahead in the score. Already massively ahead in the villager count. Gonna pick up a lot of villagers from Mr. Yo. Sorry, a lot of archers from Mr. Yo. What are you doing, Vivi? There's still three infantry here. Where are you going? The skirmishers said they're done. They don't want to fight anymore. What in the world is this? Alright, so that tower's not going to go up. Would have been a nice one. Still not a total loss, though, because it forces Mr. Yo to, of course, make the tower. That's a bit of sloppy play. So it looks like Vivi will lose this last villager. Or not. Or not. That's I would have dived in there for that villager. That villager could be very pesky later on. Eagles still no armor upgrade, so they're not really that much of a threat to the archers. Tower's going to come up on the gold. That's a good preemptive tower. And now with the skirmishers, this army looks a lot more formidable. The villagers should be able to defend. Let's see how many losses Mr. Yo takes in this engagement. Going into the Castle Age first, mind you. The tower should be up. This villager's going to get a little low. I'm going to put her in the tower, and everything's fine. Nice management of resources from Mr. Yo to be able to go up to the Castle Age much sooner than Vivi. Is there an obvious reason for this? Well, we talked about how bad the wood line and the gold is for Vivi. But other than that, maybe this eagle investment has slowed down the Castle Age. I'm not sure. This is a very nice Castle Age from Mr. Yo. Did Yo research Wheelbarrow? They both researched Wheelbarrow. How come Yo's so far behind? Remember, Yo set forward some villagers. They died. And, no, he didn't set forward some villagers. That was Vivi. Why is Mr. Yo so far behind? Well, he lost 2 villagers to the men-at-arms early. Other than that, I don't know why he's that far behind. I think some idle TC, probably. Probably had some problems getting up with enough farms, as he wanted to get the archer range up sooner for the archers. Didn't budget that appropriately. The crossbow Bodkin coming in from Mr. Yo. That should be a good raiding force. I think that Vivi will probably transition to Plumed Archers. One Eagle to help clean up these skirmishers. However, Mr. Yu is not that far behind when it comes to Plumed Archers. Has 400 stone in the bank. So the weakest point in this... Actually, I don't know if that's a hole. There's a palisade right behind that house. It's hard to see. But regardless, the castle's going to get up on the right side. Not ideal castle positioning. You don't want to place a castle when you're under pressure. But that'll be decent, I suppose. It's really not that good. It's not a good castle placement. You don't want to place it there. That's not a good town center placement either. This is what happens when you're under pressure. Vivi's essentially stuck to the side of the base. The ideal castle placement will probably be more around here, or here. Or here. Looks like this will be a good trade for Vivi. As he's going to get a lot of crossbows, going to get a lot of these skirmishers. This militia are still doing work, man, though. Hey, welcome to the stream, Lanchi. I appreciate you helping me with these wrecks. Alright, let's reassess where we are in this game. We have 3 town centers almost up for Vivi. Vivi's at 51 villagers. Mr. Yo is up on 2 town centers. And is coming up with a castle. Going to regain control of his gold. I would say both players are about at the same stage right now. They're both about even. Vivi's going to take a 4 or 5 or 6 villager advantage because Mr. Yo does not have a 3rd town center. However, Vivi has a ram out, has a siege workshop, has some crossbows coming out. So there's more army value in these crossbows than these skirmishers. And we'll see where the game heads from here. Mr. Yo should certainly add a 3rd town center. A lot of this is going to come down to the micro since this game is so close. And Vivi will be 5 or 6 plumed archers ahead. Other than that, really good second game. I thought this was going to be a terrible second game. I thought this game would be over soon. Over very early. But it doesn't appear that way. There we go. 3rd town center from Mr. Yo. We'll be 4 or 5 villagers behind. Not a huge deal. Let's see if we can land a big mangonel shot. In fact, can. Gonna pick off 3 skirmishers. And now 5 military advantage for Mr. Yo. Gotta be careful with these eagles. Archers are moving too far away from the mangonel, and nope, gonna be fine. Mr. Yo with the early ballistics, that's gonna help out a lot. Just can't take a big mangonel shot. You really need ballistics against the plumed archers. The plumed archers are so fast they can dodge arrows otherwise. Maybe gonna get heavy plow and ballistics. And what is the angle Mr. Yo attacks from? He's going to move over to the right side. Can find a villager too, but can also trap himself. Mr. Yo might be overextending a bit. The mangonel now can take this hill. We can have the archers take this hill as well. And that's what I would go for. So indeed, the plumed archer is going to take the hill. There was a little bit of opportunity there where that mangonel was a little vulnerable. Opportunity's gone. And now both players have ballistics. I think this is... Oh! Those plumed archers so strong. Microing even against ballistics. And that's going to be a good attack from Vivi. As we said before, Mr. Yo overextending a bit and is going to lose his army because of that. There was really nothing to gain in this area. We had this hill that Vivi took. You always have to be aware of the hills. And I think in that engagement, Vivi might have taken the lead in this game. Villager number is dead even. Both players only on one castle. Vivi's got a few more eco upgrades, though. I saw him get the heavy plow upgrade. Now he's getting handcart. Let's take a look at the resources. Mr. Yo, 100 food. Vivi, 200 food, but has that handcart upgrade coming in. Castle's coming up. I think Vivi's just a little bit further ahead in development. Has a little more army out. Has a little bit better economy. That said, Mr. Yo's gone up to 4 town centers. This is a big engagement. Looks like Mr. Yo will win this. Gonna win that pretty big. Gonna kill 5 plumed archers to 1. Now Vivi gonna move out. This is a little bit annoying. The skirmishes can trade pretty well against the plumed archers. Although it looks like that archer range will probably go down. This Ren is at pretty full health. And I guess this is where you're seeing the difference this game. We have 4 town centers from Mr. Yo, and we have a second castle already up for Vivi. I will take the second castle any day to an extra town center. As the military count is now even, we have 2 mangonels rolling out across the middle of the battlefield. They're going to go north, probably going to go for this town center. And in fact, that mangonel may even be able to hit most of the gold. As Mr. Yo is going to have to transition to another gold right about now. And Vivi's going to be up to the next age sooner. This is what... I think 3 town centers is better. You're able to get up to the Imperial Age sooner. And that's very important when you want Bracer, Chemistry, Ring Archer Armor, or your Plumed Archers. Mr. Yo's almost ready to go up to the next stage. He's going to need a market, though, because he's not taking enough gold. This gold has been pressured most of the game, and still he hasn't taken any. Great Castle! It's gonna... No! No! Oh, that was so close! Oh, man. Oh, that was so close. That would have been game. That would have been game had that castle been destroyed. Instead, just gonna get 2 villagers for a mangonel. Oh, man. Oh, man. That was a little heart attack. Alright, Mr. Yo gonna be the first to pick up... Well, yeah, Mr. Yo gonna pick up a second relic. I saw he just collected one right now. That castle's not all the way up, though. As these archers could take out these villagers. Oh, thank you! Thank you for the compliment. A lot of nice compliments today. I appreciate it. Big mangonel hit! Big mangonel hit! Military count now even. Remember, it's even though Vivi has had the second castle up for a while. And I still like this early Imperial Age from Vivi. Almost a huge hit, but those plumed archers are too fast. This early Imperial Age will allow Vivi to get a trebuchet probably right up on the corner of this hill. And the plumed archers to sit on top of the hill. And it looks like this is a pretty poor raid. As Mr. Yo is going to lose all of his plumed archers, we've seen quite a fair share of mistakes in this series so far. That's fine. Every player makes mistakes. So, despite only having a 4th town center, we see a 7 or 8 villager lead only for Mr. Yo. Gonna add a lot of siege workshops. If you're trying to produce as many, siege units as possible, then those, extra 10 villagers are really gonna help. It's gonna be worth sacrificing this map control to Vivi, as this castle is on top of the hill. And this is the critical moment in the game. Mr. Yo is going to be pumping rams. Maybe he's going to be adding a few rams. He's got 2 siege workshops. Mr. Yo is going to go from 3 siege workshops. Can Mr. Yo hold? Can Mr. Yo push up this hill? Or is Vivi going to maintain this hill? If he maintains this hill, that's going to be 3 dead siege workshops. It's going to be a dead castle. And that'll be game. And in the meantime, Vivi might have stumbled upon quite a horde of villagers. Actually, only going to pick off 2. Why does Mr. Yo need to go there for wood? Because in the north, it's being raided. That's a questionable castle. I know it's on the hill. I would still put it here. Gain you more map control. This is where the game is being won or lost. The siege workshop being idle this whole time, so only 2 siege workshops working. Vivi has had his working a little bit longer, so he's got the rams out already. Who's going to be able to afford siege ram right away? Siege ram coming in from Mr. Yo. That's that better economy kicking in. However, Vivi's doing the damage now. Going for a big raid. These archers do need ring archer armor, or they will take some damage from the town center. Gonna get a few villagers. I think it's more important to maintain your army. I think get as many villagers as you can, but don't lose your plumed archers. And it looks like this castle will go down, so it's going to be 3-2. Mr. Yo needs to hit the gas on ram production. Needs more siege workshops. What's his resources look like? He's got enough wood. Got enough wood. I think gold is the biggest problem. Yes, he's back on his main gold. Yes, he has good saturation on, but usually you want to be on at least 2 golds at this stage. And yeah, he's on the gold in the north, so he's okay with gold. And gonna take a nice kill here. I don't like this play from Vivi. Running in. Plumed archers are so mobile that Mr. Yo can run back with his plumed archers. And that helps even things up once again. Here's that big push we were talking about. There's still no siege ram on the way for Vivi. And Mr. Yo's going to be able to push up the castle, saving his own castle. Mr. Yo just had enough to pump those rams out, and that siege ram upgrade makes all the difference. I see Vivi right now getting 2-man saw. 2-man saw is an upgrade that costs food. I would prioritize siege ram above any upgrade that costs food. Almost any upgrade, anyway. So that is a mistake from Vivi, in my opinion. And where are the rams from Vivi? Vivi, this is a Mines War. Mines War is predominantly decided by who has more rams. And in this case, who has the better upgrades on the rams. So Mr. Yo can go for the trebuchets, can go for the 2 archer ranges, the siege workshop, the monastery. Can go for the castle. You can create like a snowball effect where if you have more rams, you can take out the siege workshops. And ensure you always have more rams. Gonna get the trebuchet. Mr. Yo has a lot of momentum now. This is an okay fight. Not a great fight. I wouldn't take it. Mr. Yo expanding towards the south. I see all the advantage for Mr. Yo now. All of a sudden, this game just flipped around just like that. Be nice. Be nice to the bots. Be nice. Alright, is Vivi going to be able to stop this momentum from Mr. Yo? Mr. Yo's going to take the north side of the map. He's going to take the south side of the map. Vivi is holding onto this hill in the middle, but it looks like he's losing ground. And that's going to be a few more dead villagers from Vivi. No more stone for him. We have a 1 castle advantage for Vivi. These trebuchets are quite low. And I think Vivi's going to take this fight as long as he micros appropriately. We need to see more siege rams. And I think a big problem, let me check. I think a big problem for Vivi, how much gold does he have coming in? So he's got 1 gold mine. Taking a look at extra resources, he's taken some of the stone. Mr. Yo should be able to take the rest. Mr. Yo is taking this extra gold. Relics are dead even. And he's taken, I think that's his stone, though. So the extra resources are about even, I think. What upgrades are most important? I think they're very important. But I think that getting siege ram is more important in this early stage of Imperial Age. The wood upgrade won't help you until mid to late Imperial Age. I think if you're able to maintain your castles, then afford the wood upgrade when you can. I don't see much harm in delaying it by a minute or 2 or a few minutes. But that's my personal opinion. I honestly don't know. What I can say is Vivi is going to lose another castle. There's tons of rams coming in. And again, this was that 4th town center. That was that extra economy from Mr. Yo. That was being able to hold on this hill. And that was Vivi not making enough rams. Yo is so strong in Imperial Age. Yeah, he is. I've seen him in deathmatch tournaments as well. He knows what he's doing in Imperial Age. And when I think of Vivi's playstyle, I think early game. I think of Feudal Age. I think of how strong he could be there. This is another terrible raid from Mr. Yo. Why would you go in that corner? There's nothing there. Another terrible raid in general, not from Mr. Yo. And it looks like Mr. Yo might have given up a little bit here. I would add another Siege Workshop here. Well, I guess this did its job. You're still mining that gold. So at the end of the game, we'll see who had more gold. I think it's going to be Mr. Yo with that extra gold mine, but I'm not sure. And these are good army numbers from Vivi. Vivi has 20 more army. Now, granted, a lot of it is skirmishers, but skirmishers are working right now. And this will be huge. This will be huge if Mr. Yo can sneak this castle down. I say sneak because those trebuchets are pretty undefended. Vivi hasn't seen this till late. The castle was already halfway down by the time he started repairing. I think that castle's going to go down. That's a huge loss. It's 4-1 castles now. Or almost. Yeah, there you go. 4-1 castles. From here on out, it's Mr. Yo going to be making plumed archers, and Vivi, to stay even with the plumed archers, is going to have to make skirmishers. Skirmishers are about the same as a plumed archer one-on-one, but this opens up Vivi to Eagle Warrior, or the Eagle Warrior transition from Mr. Yo. And this is not a good fight for Mr. Yo to take. I think it'll be much better once these plumed archers come in from the left. And these two Rams going to absorb a lot. I think this was a great fight from Vivi. That Ram's going to absorb a lot. This Ram, unfortunately, is going to path around. Most of the units that Mr. Yo has lost in this fight have been plumed archers. Most of the units Vivi has lost have been skirmishers. But it's going to be close. These plumed archers still have the hill. Ram is going to get in. Going to absorb a lot of shots. More plumed archers coming from the left. These Rams are just doing so much. If Mr. Yo wins this game, I think that's going to be GG right there. But this is still such a close game. This is both players with everything they have, putting it into this one spot in the map. And I think it'll be a good determinant of who's going to win this game. Mr. Yo going to go up with the castle in the north. This is great. Going to take over even more of that extra gold. Maybe that's enough gold to afford me an Eagle Warrior transition. And Vivi's going to win this fight as long as he uses his skirmishers correctly. The problem is, Mr. Yo, I think, has more gold to work with. So even if he loses more plumed archers, he still can replace them. But this is still a pretty terrible fight for Vivi. And I don't know. I don't know. This game is really close. Another thing, Mr. Yo's going to take over that gold, and there's the GG right there. So in the end, this was a great cost-efficient fight for Vivi, but Mr. Yo just has more. He's just got more military in that area. Plumed archers are stronger than skirmishers. And with that fight, Mr. Yo secures the gold in the north. 5-1 castle difference. With that fight, might be able to secure these extra resources, and GG. Good play. Some weird things happened in the early game, but we saw a fairly typical mid to late game from the Mayans. And in the end, that 4th town center paying off in that big ram push. That was something to behold. As Mr. Yo takes this game, evening up the series. Take a look at the achievements. I want to see that gold count. Let's see what that gold count looks like. Here we go, gold count. Look at the gold disparity. I was right. Look at that gold disparity from Mr. Yo. That's what won him this game. Moving to the north, moving to the south, taking over those extra resources. Better KD from Mr. Yo. 3 relics captured. And here's your timeline.